Howdy, and welcome to episode 76 of the Concealed Taco Dudes podcast.
Yeehaw!
Yeah, we're getting better at that. Yeehaw.
You know what we need to do? We just need to find an applause track that we can just plug in. It would be way more exciting.
How about
Maybe.
a studio audience?
Yeah.
Maybe. So today we have me, Taco,
Jason, Concealment Solutions.
Mark Magholder.
and there's just us three today. Carl was going to join us, but the internet went out at his place.
The
his whole
squirrel
town.
that operates their interwebs passed out and they couldn't revive him.
I think he was trying to blame it on the explosion in Nashville.
Yeah, something
yeah.
like that. Yeah, he's from a podunk town, and they lost all the internet out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of our yeehaw towns in Utah.
Okay, let's hit some sponsors. Let's do them fast.
All right, let's do it in no particular order. Tackware, your everyday concealed stuff, titanium things, flashlights, amazing stuff.
And things to poke people with.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pokey
And to
things.
And to grapple with things and all kinds of cool stuff. But go to Tackware and use the code
Taco 10.
Taco 10. It'll save you 10%.
How about Utah Air Guns, home of everything from your basic Red Ryder BB gun from Christmas Story all the way up to something that costs more than your car.
And yeah, from plinking in the backyard to hunting dangerous game in Africa. That's what you can find at Utah Air Guns.
From 17 to 51.
50. Yeah.
Yeah, 510
If
caliber.
Lewis and Clark had one of these things, we would own all of Canada and eastern Siberia too.
Nice. Use the code AirCandy when you check out with them on UtahAirGuns.com.
So there's a company that I need to do some business with, Concealment Solutions. I have got 2 guns now with no holster, and I need to place an order.
That is atrocious.
But my favorite one is the Cobra outside the waistband with the quick disconnect clips on it. They're amazingly secure, even though they're quick disconnect. They are absolutely secure enough to get you through a Mag 40 or even higher level roll around on the ground class.
Right. You guys probably don't know this, but next year we will be celebrating 10 years.
Good heavens.
Yeah, I know. And that's just 10 years that we've been in business. I've been building holsters a little bit longer than that. But so I've got some new things planned, hopefully for next year to kind of celebrate that. I want to expand the business offerings into, I've been wanting to do this for a while and just haven't had the means or taken the time to do it.
You're going to be an FFL, aren't you?
I've been kicking that around. If I do that, I don't know that will be a huge part of the business necessarily, because that would take up a lot of time. I'd have to hire somebody to just do that. And that's a possibility. But no, I want to expand and start offering more like everyday carry stuff and preparedness stuff.
Cool.
So that's the kind of things that I'm passionate about. And that's why I started this business, is because it's stuff that I like and it's fun and I enjoy it. And if I can start offering maybe some hand-selected EDC knives, maybe some fire starter things, some lights, tactical lights. That's just kind of some of the things that I've been thinking about.
It would be cool if you got like an FN45 tactical, and they said, well, could you make me a holster with the light and send me the light? That'd be cool.
Exactly. If we move in that direction, it'd be cool to be able to offer kind of a package deal where you select the gun model, it comes with, say, an O-light and the holster that is built for that gun with that light all in one package deal. That would be pretty cool.
It would be, but that right now it's just talk. Jason, You got to show me the candy.
There's the discount code. Show me the candy, and that'll save you 15% right now on your entire order. And it is
Speaking
just
of
talk
saving
right
serious
now.
cash, saving money, NOE bullet molds. There are people out in the wild right now saving serious money on their Dillon reloading components, full presses, bullet molds, the whole shoot match. Tell us more, Taco.
I was going to say, I just barely finished a new video, and you guys should all check it out if you haven't seen it. It's the 9mm Taco's cheap loads or something like that. So budget loads using the 9mm.
Tuesday loads.
The Taco Tuesday loads. No, but I use some new powder. It's a BR5. It's a military surplus powder. And I did a video on loading 9mm on the cheap. And the bullet mold I used is the 115 grain grooveless bevel base bullet mold from noebulletmolds.com. And I told Al, I said, hey, man, you got to make sure you have some of these in stock by the time I get this video done. In preparation to the release of the video, then he ran those on Christmas Eve. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. The service of noebulletmolds.com. So anyways, check out the video and then you can see the bullet mold in action and the bullets cast from that bullet mold in action, getting flung at steel.
What is our code?
Use coupon code FLT001 and that'll save you 10%. And it is stackable with the $1,000 club discount. So
wow.
Amazing.
Yep.
How about mag holder? I've been getting some good customer feedback. You can tell when certain manufacturers, when everything's on back order, when big lots of things release, because we get a bunch of like G19 orders, then we get, some G43 orders, and then just going on through. I've noticed that M&P and SIG have been pretty consistent though, and people are liking it. The latest and greatest update, reversible. So please go to magholder.com, check us out, and make sure to mention to Mrs. Magholder that you're looking forward to the excellent customer service that the company is offering right now. She's getting the stuff out the next day.
And the truffles.
And the truffles. Yeah, that was just for you, Jason.
Oh, my mistake. Awesome. What is the discount code?
Get in the van. I have candy.
Nice. Last but not least, go ahead.
Who's last but not least?
Black Ice Coatings.
Oh.
You almost forgot Lee.
Wow.
Lee has been putting out some amazing stuff, some projects that are just staggering on social media. The artistry is unbelievable. When you meet Lee, you don't necessarily think of Picasso or Van Gogh or anything, but he's an absolute amazing artist.
He is.
So, and not only that, but he's an engineer and just a nice guy too. So you'll get everything from Teflon on your bolt carrier groups, entire pistols, Cerakote, amazing artistic, Cerakote jobs, really amazing stuff.
And his daughter works with him, and she does a lot of the work as well. And so it's really cool to see a family business like that, where families working together and a daughter is learning her father's trade and things like that. I think it's really cool. Great business and fantastic product, or we wouldn't be talking about them. Use the code SLICKERY just because.
Yep.
Well, that's it for our sponsors. Something. What Taco, take us into what we're doing tonight.
All right. So we're going to do a couple of different things. So for the topic, we kind of wanted to go round robin and talk about maybe some of the Christmas presents or what Santa brought you for Christmas. And then after we do that, then I'd like to kind of also go round robin and talk about some of the lessons learned in 2020 and maybe what we can apply to our new year of 2021 to make it a better year.
What did we learn moving forward?
What did we learn from 2020 and what are we going to do differently in 2021?
Cool.
Let's have Jason go first.
Okay.
What did Santa bring you for Christmas?
Well, unlike you, I'm sure, Taco, I don't typically get gun stuff for Christmas. It's just like you probably don't get computer stuff for Christmas.
Correct.
I don't know. That's your business. You got that stuff anyway. And that's kind of where I am with the gun stuff. But prepping stuff and things like that, I was in a very practical mode this year for some reason. 2020 may have had a whole lot to do with that, but I recently bought an older Toyota 4Runner and wanting to get it outfitted a little bit better for off-roading and overlanding and stuff, kind of like we talked a few weeks ago. And two of my daughters actually surprised the crap out of me and gave me a set of Bilstein shocks for part of the lift kit that I'm going to put on it.
Wow, dude, that's awesome.
I know. They asked me what I wanted, and that was one of the things I said, just kind of joking, and they gave them to me one at a time. So I got opened one shock and I'm like, great, now I just need 3 more. But that was really cool.
Let's see, how many kids do I have?
Yeah. So that was cool. I did install a bidet that Santa brought us, and that was
nice.
you know the thing was, it was cheap. It was less than $40. It took me 20 minutes to install it, and I'm impressed. It really, and it's totally mechanical. So if the power goes out, I'll still have a clean butt.
Nice.
So, and I know
the reason I'm laughing so hard is because I got one too.
Nice.
So Mark, did you get it for Christmas or did you just get it?
No, I got it for Christmas. My daughter got it for the family, and we all had to try it out before using it in anger.
Yeah.
And I was absolutely shocked. I mean, I felt violated. Honestly, it was extraordinarily effective.
They've got really good aim. You don't really have to dial them in. They're right on the spot.
I want to know how those people that made that thing knew precisely I really was shocked. And I was also shocked because it doesn't have a warm water.
Yes.
And the water up here tends to be a bit chilly.
Well, yeah, the temperature's been hovering around freezing for the last week.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
I was surprised
your
too.
Fever, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's not uncomfortably cold for some reason. I don't know why, but it wasn't miserable to use.
You haven't been laying on the button long enough.
Maybe. But anyway, so that was another thing that we got.
So you want to know something funny about that?
Yeah.
I have one too. But I bought mine previous to right before the toilet paper shortage.
See,
and I have not installed mine yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know what you're missing,
okay,
man.
We should do next week's call on Zoom from the bathrooms.
There will be a lot of shrieking.
There will. Yeah.
You'll be impressed, Taco. You don't even have to dial in. They're right on target, right out of the box.
I don't know how.
I don't know.
How do they know exactly precisely to the millimeter where you're going to sit?
I don't know. And it works for everybody. Anyway, we'll move on from the bidet topic.
We need listener feedback. Any of Gun Culture 2.0 or 2.5 or whatever we're in right now, are they open to the bidet thing?
Yeah. Anyway, one thing that I got, and we actually had a different one of these already, and I'm going to show this to you guys, and I'm going to tell you about it a little bit, and you're going to have the same reaction that you did when I first showed you that Mora knife. You're going to be like, that's a cheap piece of crap. Why do you even like that? This is an inflatable solar lantern. So this goes completely flat, and it's about 4 or 5 inches around, and it's got a little solar panel on top, and you inflate it. So you blow it up, but I'm going to turn the light out. That's the low setting.
Whoa.
That's not half bad for something that charges.
How long does it last?
I think it'll last. I mean, I just got it, so I haven't tested it, and it has a strobe mode.
SOS.
But I think it'll last like 4 to 6 hours, and then you just set it out in the sun. Now, I have another one that honestly, the construction on it and everything seems a little higher quality, and you can actually charge it with a USB as well as solar. So this one is going to go in the Forerunner. It's just going to live in there and just be kind of when we go spontaneous camping or bugging out or whatever. I've got a cheap little light that should technically last forever.
And you could play kickball with it.
And you could play kickball with it. But anyway,
how much did it cost?
It was given to me, so I don't know. But they are inexpensive.
So you'd use it like you would like a propane lantern. You just set it on a table or whatever, and you're good.
Well, and it's got a little handle, so you could hang it from something. But it gives enough light that you could easily read in a tent or something like that by this light alone with the little LEDs. So that was kind of cool. It doesn't weigh anything. It takes up almost no space. So
you could sit there while you're in the dark and whittle with your Mora knife.
Yeah, there you go. I did give my son, we did kind of we had a work party, and my work let me invite my family. So we had a work party and did a gift exchange, like kind of like a white elephant thing. And my youngest got a Mora knife in that and a knife sharpener. And he also got a little folder and stuff like that. So he's the one, he loves fire starting. We've got a fire pit in the backyard. And I said, you can start a fire anytime you want, as long as you ask us first and you keep it small. I don't want bonfire out there. So we're going to get him working. And my thing with that is I don't ever give him matches. He has to start a fire without matches. So he's doing pretty good. But anyway, that's what I have. What about you, Mark?
Well, this was an interesting Christmas. I got more presents than the rest of my family.
Wow.
So it was really awesome. I had this big pile over by my chair, and everyone else had these medium piles. So I was definitely winning. But I got everything from cool socks. I got 400 rounds of 357.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought that was super amazing and nice. And then, just lots of fun family stuff. 357 was the only, gun-oriented thing. But I did get served legal papers on Christmas. My youngest daughter, my stepdaughter, served me adoption papers for Christmas.
Awesome.
So I am now basically the legal as well as practical dad of both my stepdaughters, and
that's super awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of it was an emotional moment, and I just super happy. Had to tell everyone, adoption is such a cool thing. So if anybody has any adoption stories or stepdad stories or anything like that you want to share, I'd love to hear them, because I'm just blown away.
Yeah, that's really, really cool, Mark.
Well, thank you, guys.
Yeah, my sister has adopted 5 kids.
Wow.
Which is kind of less common to adopt so many. But yeah, they've adopted different kids from all over. So lots of cool stories to go with it, but for a different day, maybe.
Neat.
Cool. Anything else you want to hit, Mark?
Not really. Although what I do need to get still, I have, several suitable firearms that I've been collecting before I got a suppressor.
Right.
So I need to get some muzzle devices so I can hook the suppressor up to different firearms. So, going shooting with the girls, even the 4570 and full power loads become shootable with the suppressor. So cool. Yeah, anyway, super cool stuff. Going to go shooting with my girls.
That's awesome. Cool. I was going to say, Mark, if you need to get any of your non-threaded barrels threaded, then talk to me. I know a guy local.
Great.
So,
because I'm worried about that, because, some of the firearms that I'm going to put them on, it doesn't look like really intuitive, and I don't know how they make them perfectly concentric. So I imagine you don't want somebody to practice on your gun when they're doing that.
Exactly. You want someone who is experienced with threading barrels for, concentric to the bore. Sometimes you got barrels that are, well, let's just say they're not perfect, and so it's nice to have someone who knows what they're doing with suppressors.
I've seen even competition barrels, heavy barrel stuff come out with, a few thousandths difference, basically wall thickness from one side to the other.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So
got it.
Anyway,
well, I'll definitely talk to you, because I need to do that.
Taco, give us your list.
All right. Well, Santa this year and my family, they were very kind and generous. So I will show you one of the first things. This is...
You got a ladle.
Yeah, I got a big ladle. But what's cool about this one is it's made for casting bullets. So it's not just a big scoop. It has a spout that pulls the lead from the bottom of the spoon or the ladle. So as you start pouring, the melted stuff usually is on the bottom, and then it starts to solidify. So you get the hottest stuff.
It's got a little channel on the side feeding right up to the drip edge.
Yep.
That's cool.
Anyways, this one is kind of cool because it holds about 2 pounds of lead in it. And, it'll be cool to use it for casting. It's called a Rowell, like ROWELL or something like that. And I got it off of Amazon, but I think you can get it other places too. Anyways,
I thought you said Santa brought it to you.
Well, Santa, he and I
Santa's
sometimes
on.
work together on stuff.
Oh, okay.
Okay, here's another thing I got.
This nice.
Is the 89-piece deluxe Wheeler Engineering professional gunsmithing screwdriver set. So
I love that thing. I've had like a couple of those, everything from like the weird slotted thing on one of the Garand screws. It's got a bit for that. I think it's even got a Glock front sight tool in it. I mean, there's just all kinds of cool stuff in that set.
Yeah, wow. I was going to say, the reason why this is important is that when you're working on lever actions, then they are flathead screws, but you want to make sure that it has a perfect fit so you don't mar up and ruin the screw tips or the heads,
A perfect fit and hollow ground screw bit is amazing for those.
Yes. So I'm hoping to maybe do like a couple of instructional videos on like complete disassembly of a 1895 Marlin or, something like that. If the listeners have some feedback on what they want to see, stripped down, like maybe a Rossi 92 or something, I have a really nice camera. I could record in like 4K and zoom up real close. There's a lot of videos out there that are pretty decent, but it's angles, cuts, you get a lot of fingers covering up what you want to see. And,
I want to see you install your bidet with it.
And with this Wheeler screwdriver set.
It's an adjustable wrench and one screwdriver.
But yeah, I thought it'd be kind of cool to do a couple of videos like that, just, showing in super clear 4K video of how to disassemble some of the lever guns or things that are usually a little bit tougher to take apart. So, and I also got a 6.5 Creedmoor Thompson Center compass rifle.
Oh.
And so
didn't you buy that last week at Gunny's?
Yes.
Okay.
But it was a Christmas gift.
Oh, you already told us about it though.
Yes. So this one's going to be a donor rifle for that Wildcat that I'm working on. So right. we're getting closer and closer all the time.
Taco-Tini?
Yep, the 35 Taco-Tini.
Nice.
So my buddy Kenny from the Eagle Eye Shooting Channel, he's been practicing on some die blanks. So he's been making some like high precision sizing dies for some other people and in preparation for the 35 Taco-Tini.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. And it's going to be a fun, cool cartridge and, something that I have a lot of bullet molds for. And, I have a lot of 35 cal bullets also just from my 35 Wayland and some other cartridges that I have. So
how are you doing on your registry of firearms net total? And
I'm net 5. I have been like avoiding gunnies ever since I bought this because I'm at net 5. So
I think they're open till like 2 or 4 o'clock on Friday. So
yeah, I'm just staying out of that store because every time I go in there, there's something that's shiny, right?
Oh yeah.
And then the other gifts I got were kind of not prepper gifts, but like things. I got the Moore knife, and my son got one too. But I got some kind of cold weather clothing. Carhartt rain resistant sweatshirt is one of those heavy duty sweatshirts. And I got a couple of pants that are like fleece lined. And then one is like a little bit less warm. It's like a knit lined or something. And so they're quite a bit warmer than say a pair of jeans in the winter.
Nice.
So, yeah, cool. I like staying warm when it's cold.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, cool.
Well, excellent.
Should we jump into lessons we've learned from 2020?
Yes.
So I'll start with one. I learned yet again that if you see something in the gun shop that you are interested in, you should buy it right then and not
okay.
wait.
What did you see that wasn't there when you came back?
Nothing specifically, but just as a general rule, things are going fast. Actually, there was was it a Glock 48? I went into the shop and, delivering some holsters. There was a Glock 48 there. And I went, oh, that's cool. I'll pick that up next time I come in because I was kind of in a hurry. Yeah, it wasn't there the next time I went in.
See, I've learned that lesson a long time ago.
Yeah.
But that's why I had to have that New Year's resolution this year of the 5 net new guns.
Yeah.
What I usually do, and it's usually at Gunnies, I see something that is like special, like one of a kind or a really good deal, and I just throw it on layaway, because then you don't have to like show your ID and that kind of like, you don't have to do the paperwork. You just go to the register and check out.
Right. But there's, even more so moving into 2021, I think, if you see ammo that isn't outrageously priced, get it. If you see primers, get it. Powder, get it. I know this whole scare, the first go around with Obama, me and my brother were at the Sportsman's Warehouse, and, this was 10 years ago or whatever. And we bought a bunch of powder, even though at the time, neither of us were reloading, but it was like, all the ammo is going away fast. Let's get powder so that we at least have it, and we can do that if we need to. So just some things to think about.
All right, Mark.
I would say that this year I've learned how powerful the take someone shooting thing is. I have several friends, people from work and other places that I would have never thought were going to be gun people. And it really makes a big difference if you are open to, befriending people, offer them some advice, help them to not get screwed over in a weird market, help people out, because I think they will end up on our side on the big political battles in the coming years. I think that, the one particular guy in Chicago, he was waiting for a while on his FOID card, and he got it, and we were texting back and forth, and he almost got a really bad deal on a gun that was probably not at all suited for a first-time home defense thing. So reach out to those people and take them under your wing. That's something I think will return big dividends and has been a big deal this year for me.
Cool.
I would say one of the big lessons I learned this year, now reflecting on, you kind of touched on that before, Jason, about powder, primers and stuff in the Obama shortage. And I learned my lesson back then. And so then, in the years between Obama and now, whenever there were primers or powder in stock and on sale, I would buy a lot of them for cheap comparatively. And so one thing I did not necessarily account for is how many people I've taught to cast bullets and reload, and then them not having the powder and primers that they need because they're new at it. So I have plenty enough for me, but I don't know if I have enough for me and all my friends who are new. So
right.
And you kind of hate to sit on a big stash when your buddies are like, man, I can't find any small pistol primers. Do you know where I can get a couple? And it's like, well, I've thought, I could probably just share some of those that I have stashed and then shoot more of the other firearms,
Yeah.
For example, I can always shoot, 10 millimeter and 45 a lot more than I have in the past, because I have the firearms and all the powders, reloading equipment, primers for large pistol, a lot more than, say, the small pistol if I'm sharing those with people I know. So maybe for 2021, if things get caught up, then maybe I'll try and have a larger stash of the more common calibers, the things that I would have to share with other people, like 223, 9 millimeter. Those are, small pistol and small rifle primers, that kind of stuff. So,
right.
So all of us here have pretty close relationships with different brick and mortar gun stores. I'm wondering how important have those relationships been to getting something this year that you would otherwise have had a problem getting, whether it's a firearm or an extra box of primers, or they let you out, with a box or two of ammo, even though they're rationing. Has any of that come into play? And how does the support your local brick and mortar gun store thing work for you guys this year?
I was going to say that plays a huge role in my life, I guess. My relationship with some of the brick and mortar stores, I'd say Gunnies specifically, they always treat me right, and I always bring customers to them. And I had a friend who lives out of state, and it was right at the beginning of the primer shortage. And Gunny's is always notorious for they just stash. I mean, they buy so much stuff, and they outlast most of the other brick and mortar stores when it comes to reloading components and guns and everything.
Where do they keep all their stuff? That store is not that big,
dude. It's
down
like
the hallway and to the left.
The hallway to the bathroom. That's where they have like all the ammo. But you'll notice as if you go to the bathroom, and nowadays, then all those boxes of ammo that used to line the hallway are either gone or less.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was able to buy a case of primers and ship it to a buddy out of state. And that was only due to the fact that I have that relationship with Gunny's, and they let me buy a case of primers when they're having restrictions. So
Jason, what about you? You've had several firearms transactions, things that you've done in trade and so forth.
Yeah.
How many things have you ended up with that without that relationship with your brick and mortar, you would not have been able to?
Not a whole lot, because I kind of tend to be, I just take what they got type of thing. And if they don't have what I'm dying for, I don't really have stuff that I'm like, I gotta have one of these. I capitalize on opportunities when they're there. But they have, and this is down at Discount Guns and Ammo where they sell my stuff, and we do a lot of trading and everything. But, I went in and they had a gun that I wanted. It was their last one, just like everything else. And he put it in the back for me for a few days before I could come back in and pick it up. So he didn't have to do that. And he would have sold it to somebody else if he hadn't. So that was cool.
Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I came home from Idaho Falls recently with a G43X with the optic mount on it and everything.
Oh yeah, new one.
The new one, yeah. And again, it was because of the relationship with the brick and mortar store. Granted, I didn't come back with the pistol; they had to transfer it to an FFL in Utah. But I just think that those relationships have value, and you don't need to be like a captain of industry or a major mover and shaker in the gun world. You just have to be a good customer, show up, show some loyalty, bring friends in, and you will have a great relationship. Learn
their names, learn the names of the people that are behind the counter. And and a box of donuts doesn't hurt every now and then.
Good point.
Yeah. And one of the things I do is, I cast and reload, and there's a lot of gun store employees who have not quite dived into reloading or casting their own bullets. And so I kind of have this open offer to all of the, at least the ones I like, the employees that say like Gunny's, I always offer and tell them, hey, if you ever want to learn how to reload or cast bullets, then you can just come on over to my place and I'll show you and help you do it. And I had one of the gun shop employees who had just bought a 4570, one of the Marlins, and he was able to get some brass, which was really good because that's sold out. 4570 brass is sold out now, which is odd. But he came over and I helped him from start to finish. We grabbed he actually bought some lead ingots from NOE, and then came over here and melted him and cast some 4570 bullets, powder coated size. And then I helped him load it up, and then he shot those and he's ready to do it again. But I tell those guys too, I say, hey, if you ever see anything that you think I might like, send me a text and a picture and let me know. And I've gotten some good deals on things that never made it to the counter, the gun counter.
Nice.
I snatch them up before they even get brought up. So yeah, having a relationship where
illusion,
it's where they benefit you and you benefit them, and it's got to be symbiotic.
Yep, it's got to be mutual. Both parties have to be benefiting from the relationship. If you're just a taker, that relationship isn't going to last.
And do not go into a gun shop and then try and bargain with them. If you
haggle down the price,
haggle it down to like as low as you can. If they don't know who you are, and if you're not a repeat customer, I mean, it's kind of annoying for them. They get some guy off the street who comes in, never bought a gun from them before, and they're like, "Hey, I can get this online for this much. Can you match it?" And
Yeah. You got to understand, they're not making very much money on guns anyway. They're making more now than they have been.
Yeah,
but the margins still aren't great.
Right.
And
yeah, they make a lot more on accessories.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Let's do one more round on lessons we've learned.
I didn't get my second one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was going to say one of the other lessons I've learned is that buy the reloading dies when you buy the gun.
Oh.
So I had a couple of guns that I didn't have the reloading dies for because I wasn't in a hurry to make some ammo for them. There were some old surplus rifles. But now I cannot find the reloading dies for them without paying crazy prices on eBay. So that 6.5 Carcano and a couple others, they're sold out everywhere. So for me, the reloading is the biggest part, because I don't buy factory ammo like ever except 22s. So for me, I either need to wait to buy the gun until there's dies or buy the dies right after I buy the gun so I could actually make ammo and shoot it. So that's what I've learned.
Huh. Okay. One of the lessons that I've learned in 2020, right at the beginning when we had all the panic and the run on toilet paper and bottled water and stuff like that, which was stupid to begin with.
The bottled water was so weird. Like,
yeah, we're going to be trapped in our homes during this pandemic. We need bottled water. It's like, really?
Did they think like the zombie apocalypse was going to happen and all the like water treatment plant employees were going to like, I don't know, poison the water?
I don't know. And even so, don't you have a water filter anyway? We filter all our water. But anyway, there were some things that I hadn't taken into very good consideration in the past that I was very low on. And in fact, we run out of all the time is toothpaste. We just get to a point where it's like, oh, somebody used the last of the toothpaste and you're searching through the hall closet looking for the little dentist samples that they give you when you go get your teeth cleaned so you can keep going. And that's just annoying. So toothpaste, bar soap, shampoo are three things that I have never really stocked up on before. And so I'm finding deals now, mostly at NPS. I bought like 6 gigantic tubes of AIM toothpaste for like 79 cents a piece. Not the brand I prefer, but who cares? It does the job. Found a high-end, my wife likes this Native brand, like deodorant and stuff. They had a whole bunch of bar soap there for 99 cents a bar. And then it was 25% off of that. So I bought like 10 bars of soap just to have. And
I was going to say, it only takes one time of brushing your teeth with charcoal
and baking soda.
To make you say that whatever toothpaste it is, it's going to taste a whole lot better than charcoal.
Yeah, but charcoal does a good job. Just doesn't taste good.
It does a good job, but some generic toothpaste, man, I would take that any day over charcoal.
Yeah. So I consider myself fairly well prepared for most situations, but when the whole pandemic thing started, that was an area that I hadn't really looked at very closely before, even though it was stuff that it's like, I can't tell you how many times I've taken a shower and just used shampoo for everything, which, I'm pretty hairy anyway, so it's probably what I should be doing anyway.
Too much information.
Yeah, you get out and rinse off in the bidet.
Yeah. The stuff we do to prepare should benefit us whether something bad happens or not, right? And those are the categories that, makes my life easier even if something bad doesn't happen. So, I looked at some of my preps a little closer and made some adjustments.
Mark, do you have another one?
Well, I have been very liberated since I came clean with my wife, Mrs. Magholder, on the podcast. So she's known about every gun purchase since that episode. And it's frankly been, pretty liberating. Also, I discovered that, having those conversations with her, like, why is this interesting? Why do you want that? she's actually becoming pretty conversant on more of the topic now. So I think that I just sort of, was like an adult guy and assumed that my wife wouldn't have an interest or was just out to keep me from having fun. But really had lots of good discussions. She's got, a way to, for instance, carry her firearm off body in the vehicle now. And, all these things have come from greater communication with my spouse, who has really blossomed into asking great questions about guns.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, I had a similar conversation this week with my wife about knives. It's like, I don't understand why you need so many knives. And I'm like, what's different about them? I'm like, well, they have a different purpose. This one does this one's for that. Da, da, da. I said, and they're just fun.
This one's purple.
Yeah. She's like, oh, okay. I just figured a knife was a knife. It's like, no, they have different purposes. They do different things. It's just like saying a shoe is a shoe, right? No, They do different things.
Okay, so I have one.
Good point.
Another one. So I was going to say one of the things I learned, maybe I didn't totally learn this, but it's something that I've tried to do, and I should just do a little bit better. But that is to have an emergency fund set aside for guns. And what I mean by that is, for example, you go into a store like, say, Sportsman's, and primers are way cheaper than they normally are. Then I can just slam down $500, buy all the primers I want at the cheap price, and I have that in cash. So I can do that and then save up the money again to replenish that. But what it'll allow you to do is make large bulk purchases of powder, so you can maximize your hazmat fee. So you get the maximum amount of powder per hazmat fee and shipping. So it actually makes everything a little bit cheaper per pound. And primers. And then say you find a gun or something like that is on sale or something that you really want. Then you have that, $500 and then you don't have to worry about it, like if you have the money or not. But it's kind of like an emergency fund for guns. So I think that'd be a good idea to have, and then not keep that as an emergency and not just waste it on, hey, I think I'm going to get another gun and use that. Save it for the times where you find a really good deal on powder primers or, the Grail gun or whatever.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else you guys want to touch on before we sign off?
I was going to say also, the people who are hit with this ammo shortage, they need to remember it. And kind of like how all of us survived the Obama shortages, and then we learned those lessons from that. Don't forget it, and make sure that if you don't reload, then maybe you decide to get into reloading. But if you don't want to get into reloading, make sure you buy enough ammo when it's cheap and on sale and stock up so that these shortages don't affect you.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Because shooting is a perishable skill, and when you don't practice, you lose your skills. It doesn't help if you have like your couple boxes of ammo and you save it for the emergency, but then you don't go shooting and practice. So it's always good to have more ammo than you think so that you can use it to practice, and then you have some in case the apocalypse or whatever. So
yeah,
cool. 100,000 rounds will fit in a very small closet. So you're absolutely right. Do stock up when you can.
All right. I think that's about it for this episode.
I think so. So hopefully you can learn something from our mistakes, learn something from your own. Let us know, what did you learn from 2020 and how is it going to change your behavior for 2021? We'd love to know what you guys are experiencing and how you're going to move forward with things.
Yeah. And until next time, have a happy new year.
Have a happy new year. Be safe and be nice.
Be nice to everyone. Thank you.
Yep.
I had to go up and shush my family.
Oh.
I told Noah he has to like walk on his tiptoes or something. That kid walks on his heels or something, but it sounds like he's, like a Yeti. Sounds like he's either 500 pounds or he's stomping when he walks. Just normal.
Yeah.
And so
Ian's that way too.
I'm like, dude, you gotta be quiet. And he's like, I am being quiet. 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 I